guys, how y'all doing? Cosmic Carry here. Let me adjust the mic. Hold on to your ears. What's up, guys? How y'all doing? Cosmic Carry here. Rolling out in my garage. This is a continuation of my garage update video. You know, where I kind of well, either it was I passed out or you know I got shut down because you know the servers were restarted for update 4.0. So you know I had a time limit, but I you know I think I was kind of done. I was beat. I was dead, and I did promise to finish up in another vid. So this is that vid, and I believe we left off. We were at the Leopard, between the Leopard PTA and the E50. So we'll start off. I apologize for the big Xbox Live Gold thing. I'm getting my gold tomorrow, but anyway. We are at we're at tier 9 and we're at the E50, and basically how was I, what was I doing, I was just talking about the tanks, and you know, yeah, the E50 I've had for a while. I loved the whatchamacallit, the German mediums. You know, I mentioned that in the last vid, and I'm not attempting to free mark this. I just love playing in my E50. And there's a whole bunch of other players out there that love playing in this tank as well, you know, because this tank is just so severely OP at tier 9. I've mentioned this on quite a few occasions in the past, but it's if you know how to play the tank, and there's not that much, you know, skill and know-how when it comes to the medium tanks. It's just eventually you'll just basically click. A lot of players out there say, you know, I'm not a medium tank player, I don't know, you know, and even when you are a medium tank player, I don't consider myself to be a medium tank player. It's kind of just depends on what kind of suits me. You know, sometimes I'm in the mood for TDs, sometimes I'm in the mood for heavies, sometimes I'm in the mood for mediums, but as a medium tank player, what puts off a lot of people from medium tanks is you can get annihilated so quickly, and but that's part of the medium tank lifestyle. You know, it's you just have to accept that you know, out of the kind of like the three categories, the three main categories, which is heavies, TDs, and mediums, you're the most vulnerable. You know, because usually you have you're the one that's exposing yourself most out of, you know, all three categories, and you'll kind of have the weakest armor usually, or you're more visible than anybody else, and etc, etc. But so when I got into mediums, you know, I was kind of like had the same attitude. I was like, this is way too much, you know, I don't have any, I don't like, but it's so rewarding once it kind of clicks, once you kind of figure it out. And I believe it was on this line that it kind of just all clicked with me, and I said, wow, you know, you got speed, you got accuracy, you got a bit of armor, you got maneuverability, you know, you got versatility, you know, you're so versatile, you can do so many things, and that's the life of a medium player, you know. And that's why it's so much fun to play in medium tanks. And the most OP medium tank in the game is most probably, you know, the E50, and that's because of the tier that it kind of sits at, you know, tier 9. A tier 9 tank that, when it's top tier, it plays against tier 7. You know, so yeah, so E75. This was, it's been such a long time, you know, for I'd say like the first couple of years of my World of Tanks quote-unquote career, it was all about the E75. You know, it was all about the E75. I just loved my E75. There was nothing that could compare to it, nothing that could you know, come up against it. You angle in this thing, the gun is pretty decent. Again, it's tier 9, so when it's top tier, it can compete even in tier 10 games, no problema, with the angling of the armor. You know, it is the king of the heavies. It was for me. Nowadays, you know, I don't play in it that much. I should try it out. You know, I think the last time I played in it was, I don't know, like 3-4 months ago, something like that, like literally a handful of games. I should attempt to free market and just get back into the thing. And you know, whenever I was bored with World of Tanks back in the day, I would just hop on into my E75. Or if I needed to make a video and I was kind of lacking in epic games, I'd just jump into my E75 because it would not disappoint, you know. Nowadays, like I said, nowadays I can't comment. You know, everything's changed now. You know, you got the Japanese heavies, you got the Czech autoloaders, you got all these different tanks that weren't on the scene when I originally rolled out in this tank. Jagdtiger, I need to play in this tank 100%. It's a firm favorite for a lot of people, and it's a beautiful machine. You know, I know how to play it, but I just haven't. You know, you can see I've put permanent camo on the thing, so it's kind of like waiting, etc, etc. Waffle, that I prefer the Borsig over this any day of the week. Any day of the week. It does not have the camo values that the Borsig has, absolutely. And yeah, I prefer the Borsig 100%. AMX30, I should kind of grind out this line and get the tier 10, but I'm kind of lazy, you know. Lorraine 40T waiting to be turned into a tier 8 premium so I can get my tier 8 premium, free tier 8 premium. We shall see, we shall wait. Is it going to happen? Yes, no, maybe, who knows, you know. T54, another OP as hell tier 9 medium tank. E50, you know, beats it though, in my personal opinion. And the tier 10 I've kept. Again, you know, you can see I've got permanent camo on the thing. It's waiting to be played. I need to play it some more, and I think I gave up on the grind with this tank like halfway through. I think I was like 50 games in, and I was kind of impatient, and I had some gold lying around, and I got the tier 10, and yeah, I never realized the full potential of this tank. Yes, I do have 3 less tanks. You can see I have 167 and not 170 as opposed to, you know, the last vid I did, and that's because I did end up, I needed just a little bit of silver. I sold 3 of the Soviet heavies that were in my garage, and which I haven't touched in literally years. So it's 167 now. So one thing that you guys possibly maybe have noticed is that all my tier 10s now, if you go back and look at my old garage vids, all my tier 10s now do have equipment, so they're ready to be played in. I say all, there's a couple that's still missing. But yeah, I was very uneconomical smart with my gold, because what I used to do is just have like 1 set of equipment, which I would, you know, 2-3 sets of equipment which I would shift on a daily basis, or a weekly basis, and spend about, I don't know, like 1,000 gold a month moving those bits of equipment from tank to tank. And that way I never really kind of needed silver. I kept my silver for buying tanks, you know, when I was grinding, and that was the way that I did things, you know, back in the day, in order to get those tier 10s, in order for me to have enough silver to get those tier 10s quickly. You know, a lot of players will say, oh, I don't have enough silver for that tier 10, but they've got equipment all over the place, you know, in all these tanks, which is smart, 100%. But what I used to do is, I never had any equipment. I used to always move it around, just 1 or 2 sets, and that way I always had plenty of silver. And I don't do that anymore. You know, I do play my tier 8 premiums quite a lot now, and I try to free mark them, you know. Like right now, my primary focus when it comes to free marking tanks is premium tanks, because as I'm doing so, I'm earning buttloads of silver, and if it takes me forever in a day to free mark something, so be it. I don't mind, because I'm earning buttloads of silver. at the same time. M48 pattern. When it comes to your tier 10s, they're gonna mean different things to, you know, different people, because it just depends basically. I found, when do you get those tanks in your World of Tanks career, you know, because if this is your first medium, the M48 pattern, like it is for me, then it's gonna hold a special place in your heart, you know, because it's a pretty decent machine. But is it the best tier 10 medium tank? No, absolutely not, you know. And but still, you know, it kind of just, it means different things to different people, and it really does depend. When are you gonna, you know, unlock, when did you unlock that tank in your World of Tanks career, you know? So if you you know, let's have a look. If you unlock the E3, if this was your very first TD, you might say, you know, God, I hate TDs, you know, God, it's so inaccurate. I mean, the armor's good, but, you know, and it's not until you unlock other TDs that you realise, you know, each one is completely different, you know, because the E3 and the E4 are the same tanks, same gun, but they're different at the same time, you know, because the E4 has a rotating turret, has the characteristics of a heavy tank, the mobility, you know, but it's just, each tank is unique, it's different, you know. The T57, kind of on the fence with this tank. It's a monster tank, but at the same time, I'm not too big on autoloaders at tier 10. Possibly, maybe we shouldn't have any autoloaders at tier 10, and that way it truly is, you know, a World of Tanks. But like they said, they once made an announcement on Wargaming, made an announcement stating, you know, this game is not a tank simulator, you know, it's a game at the end of the day. So but anyhow, we're babbling too much. The M48 Pattern is a very, very decent medium tank, tier 10 medium tank. You get a lot of really decent machines grinding towards this tank. It's you know, the M46 Pattern, for instance, and the tank itself is recently received some buffs to its rate of fire, you know, and it's a beast medium. It's a really good medium, you know. It's lacking somewhat in armor. It's got that eggshell frontal armor. It can bounce, but, you know, at the same time, E5 is a beast. You want your a recommendation for your very first tier 10 tank, you know, I would say first and foremost go for this. You know, this tank can be a medium, it can be a sniper, you know. The gun puts out, you know, good alpha, good rate of fire, speed, mobility, gun depression. It's got everything, you know, everything that you need. Armor, all of it, you know. T57, a little bit different, you know. You can see it's kind of much taller, bulkier. It is what it is. In a nutshell, it's the T57. There's no other tank like it. E3 and the E4, I mean, the E3 is just like a turtle. Nothing can pen it from the front. If you want to shoot it, you've got to shoot it at the lower plate, to the left or to the right. That's about it, you know. The upper, the machine gun port, forget about it. With the E4, it's it's very different, you know. The machine gun port is 100 points lower in armor, so you can definitely, you know, penetrate that machine gun port compared to the E3. Not saying that, you know, it's impenetrable, but yeah, good luck with that. But yeah, the E4 is much more different when it comes to the armor, and of course you expose yourself much more because you turn your turret to shoot at someone, and thus exposing the side of your turret, whereas in E3 you're simply facing forward, and you know, it's just kind of a different kettle of fish. T92, absolutely, this is kind of, it's the biggest gun in the game, and that's the only kind of positive as far as this piece of art is concerned compared to the Tier 9, you know. And that's when I say that it's the biggest gun in the game, that doesn't mean it's better. That doesn't mean, you know, it's superior. I'm just saying that, you know, it's the biggest gun in the game, so it's bigger than the tier 9, but that's about it. It's just a statement. That statement actually doesn't carry any weight, is what I'm saying, because this, it just sucks. It really does suck. You know, maybe if I spent an evening playing in the thing, I'd appreciate it more. But you know, tier 9 every day, man, every day, bro. It recently got a buff. Centurion Action X. It's recently got a buff. The turret is about to get buffed, apparently. So it's going to be far superior than this current version, and it's beautiful, the detail. But it is very big. It's very bulky. It's kind of heavy tank size almost. You can see, but you know, you cannot deny the gun. The gun is fantastic. The gun is beautiful. It just sings. 215B, again, you know, the Brits, and they're fantastic, beautiful guns. But myself personally, I'm just not into this tank. You know, least favorite tier 10, I would say. The Chieftain. There's not enough good things can be said about the Chieftain, apart from, you know, its side armor. You know, and the hull armor, it's a bit cheesy, but you know, the Death Star, it's weird. It's weird looking at the Death Star. I just don't play in it these days. You know, I've just played in it too much, too often, made too many vids. You know, and yeah, so just when I see this tank, I just think of Tiger 2s and their, is it 1800 damage or 1600? Hit points. I can't remember. It's just, whenever I was in this tank, I'd look on the enemy team lineup, roster, whatever you want to call it, and I'm just like, how many Tiger 2s do they have? How many Tiger 2s? Because you just hit the Tiger 2 anywhere and you one-shot it every single time, you know, almost. I think on like a couple of occasions I did not one, you know, and for those of you that are new here, I have like a gazillion vids in this tank. If you go on my channel, there's a little tab that says playlists. You know, look for the Death Star. E50M. It's a fantastic tank. It does everything that the E50 does, but better. But the, you know, only drawback when kind of comparing it to the E50 is the fact that it's a tier 10 tank. So you'll never be as severely OP as the E50 is when that tank is top tier, you know. But there's no denying that this is a fantastic beast of a machine. But when, you know, this tank has to face Death Stars and Waffles and, you know, Lions and Tigers and Bears. The Leopard 1 I love. I love the speed, I love the maneuverability, I love the gun. But anything can pen you, anything. There's no second chances in this tank. This was my very first tier 10, absolutely, very first tier 10, and it is 2 marked, bloody hell, I'm doing well. And yeah, this kind of, the whole channel was based around this tank. When I first started up my channel, I think I was on the E75, and I said to myself, okay, if you're gonna start up the channel, you need to have something, you know, in your corner to kind of give the channel a boost. And I said, I need to have the E100. I want to be the first person on YouTube to have an E100, you know, from Xbox, from console, from the 360. And so, you know, and when I announced myself, I didn't have the E100 yet, but I was kind of eager to get going with my YouTube channel, and I thought to myself, okay, you might have shot yourself in the foot. What if you're not, you know, now other YouTubers, even though there was like literally 1 or 2 others out there, get wind of the fact that you're going to be the first on YouTube with a E100 console version, you know, they're going to try and beat you to it. But you know, I can kind of claim that. I know it's not a big claim, but I still kind of did. I was the very first YouTuber to have an E100 console version, so that was kind of pretty cool. And it did draw a lot of people kind of initially to my channel. It did the job, you know. This was the star of the show when I started up my channel, and I wasn't, you know. So I owe a lot to Greedy Greta, you know, I do. The mouse is a wonderful tank, you know. I gave it a lot of shit, a lot of crap. I have, yeah, but the mouse is a great tank, you know. It's a great tank for rolling out in and just having some fun and bouncing. Like, I bounced 12k the other day, you know, easy peasy. And you know, it's just a great machine. 100%. Somebody's calling me. We'll ignore that. The Waffentrager E100 is the Waffentrager E100. It has been completely removed from PC, and for good reason. But we are a different kettle of fish. You know, we are a different game. You know, compared to PC. PC has, you know, we have. You can see up there, you know, 7,000, top right hand corner, 7,700 people currently on the European servers. I think that's European servers. I'm hoping that's not in total, because that'll be kind of, I think it might be total actually. But anyhow, we don't have, you know, we need to keep the numbers flowing, going. We need new bloods, and you know, that's why we have a gazillion premiums released now each and every month, etc, etc. Which we're completely different. It works differently for us than it does to PC. The Jaegeru E100. See, if this was your first TD, you must really hate TDs. You know, I used to play with a guy named Owen, and this was his first tier 10 TD, and he hated this thing, you know, and I can see why. You know, it has a severely troll gun. When it hits, it's fantastic. It's like, yeah, you know, wow, but a lot of times it just doesn't hit. You know, I would not recommend this as one of your first tier 10s to grind for, you know. The Grill 15 is a fantastic tank. I love the Grill 15. I love the Grill 15. It really is. It's very much like the Scorpion G, you know, in its setup and how to play this tank and all of this jazz, and it's very similar. Yeah, it's yeah. It's just you don't need to sit in the back and snipe in this tank. You can absolutely, but you know, that's not your only kind of option. Yeah, it's a great tank. I love this thing. No, I have not played in this in over a year, you know. Yeah, I've just no comment on this. I can't say it's good, it's bad. From my experience, it's bloody awful, you know. But I've only literally played a handful of games in the thing, so at the same time, I'm no expert, you know. The Batmobile is a beautiful tank. This tank brings back so many fantastic memories, you know. This is like my second or third medium tank. It's not even a medium tank, it's the Batmobile, you know. It's in a league of its own, 100%. The drive-by machine, you know, it truly is a fantastic tank, and but you got to play it smart, you got to play it right, and it does have that, you know, 37-second reload, which can be punishing, you know. Object 140 T62A, Object 140 T62A, Object 140 T62A. Which tank is better? They're completely different and completely the same at the same time. You know, the T62A is has got more armor, especially the turret armor, and the Object 140 has like this ring of armor around the turret compared to the T62A, which is kind of like a complete thing when it comes to the armor on the turret. The guns, the guns are pretty. I think they're the same. They're the same. I think. The 140 has 1 extra degree of gun depression compared to the T62A. Has it is 5 kilometers faster as well. So me myself, I prefer the 140, 100%, hands down. But I took on a E100 in my T62A. I face tugged him. I blasted his cheeks into oblivion, and I didn't lose one single hit point, for my troubles. And I could not have done that in the Object 140. I hate to say it, I had it recorded, and I lost that hard drive. The files became corrupt, but it was a beautiful thing, And I said that, yeah, I can do this. If he's not gonna, if he uses heat, it's not gonna work. He's gonna bounce. If he uses a standard AP, it's not gonna work. He's gonna bounce. And I just face hugged him like David and Goliath. And no, this is a great tank. This is a great tank. I unlocked it quite a while ago, but I haven't played that many games in it. But I'm looking forward to getting into this tank. The Object 263, of course, has a special place in my heart because I managed to achieve 10k damage, not 9.5, and some people claim they have had a 10k game. No, you have to hit 10k, go above 10k in order to say you've had a 10k game. I'm glad that I don't have a Pools medal, for instance, but I do have one of the milestones in your World of Tanks career is getting a 10k game, and I'm glad to say that the Object 263 gave me this honor, gave me this privilege very early on in my World of Tanks career, by giving me was it Corellia, a 10k game, which I proceeded to lose. And but it was, I did my best, but artillery was in play, and I was up against the E100, and I'm trying to shoot an E100 with pretty lousy gun depression going uphill, and continuously lit up, and just Artie eventually got me, took me out. So what can I say? STB1, what a fantastic, beautiful machine, but that gun will troll you. Look at it. Look how beautiful it is. Just on looks alone. What a beautiful. Some eye candy there. Yes, absolutely. And another one. Not bad looking. Not fantastic looking. Yeah, Nikita Burritos, huh? She speaks Mexican. Yeah, well, whatever, Nikita Burrito. This is a great tank. This is just one of those tanks you get, and it's like, are you serious? Are you serious? I can pump out 1200 damage in like 3-4 seconds. Are you kidding me? It's a beast. It really is. And oh yeah, a cookie to anybody that kind of noticed my brown sugar, who noticed the names on my American tanks, who know where these names come from. Oh, and if you know where the names come from, shame on you. Shame on. I'm not gonna give it away. This I will say. That's EastEnders. That's a British soap. Pat Butcher, Dot Cotton. He's the special guy. I think I have Janine Butcher here. Is it Janine Butcher? Where is it? Oh, Katie Price. That's Jordan. Yeah, whatever. but anyhow, Dot Cotton, Peggy Mitchell, and there's Peggy Mitchell, Pat Butcher. They're all there. There's English soap. So anyhow, Brenny Bratwurst, Wiener Schnitzel, Helga Fannyberg, Eva Braun, Arnie Schwartz, Udo Ludo. I'm not sure. Did I name him? I haven't got a clue. I'm pretty sure I got Bruce Wayne for the Bat Chat. Boris McStalin, Nikolai McStalin, and then Nikita Burrito. I didn't know what kind of crew to put in this one because they didn't have the Czech voices, so I just put in a Mexican female called Nikita Burrito. She looks kind of dodgy. She looks kind of shady. Like she's part of some kind of resistance movement. Anyway, we are done. We are history. The garage update is complete. We're back to where we started with the T-Rex. We are good to go. So I hope you guys enjoyed. I promised I'd finish this. I have. I'll see you same time next year. Same time next year, guys. Take it easy. Adios, muchachos.